giggity, giggity, giggity.
Giggity, 8:50 and a half here on this 24th day of July in the year 2018. Anno Domini. This is The Den. Ken's Den. I'm here with Billy Bellina from Breakfast with BB on Saturday mornings. You started off playing in polka bands, polka orchestra, very young and early. And at some point in time, you ended up on the radio. How did that happen?
I got a job in 1979 at UMass.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Maintenance.
Okay.
I says, okay, here we go, BB.
All right.
Maybe it's time for a book. Actually, before that, when I was in New Bedford, it was very, what the heck, how do I want it? Well, I mentioned the polka show, that they had one in New Bedford, one in Taunton. So a very good friend of my family's is Stanley Stankiewicz. This was back when I was in high school. He used to have a couple hours on a Sunday. It's when they had these Polish programs. He would do most of the announcing in Polish.
All right.
Now most of the stuff's in English, but so be it. I used to go in, not every show, but when I think I'll go down to the station and see him. And we talked. He showed me what new recordings he got and all of this. So this is leading up to this MUA deal.
Right.
So I went to the radio station. Actually, I went to FCR first.
How did that work out for you?
Very wonderful. I don't know why I went there, but I talked to the lady there. I says, hey, how about a polka show? And we got into that for about 10 seconds. And she says, no, not interested. Didn't give me too much of a, to speak my piece or anything.
Now, when she said not interested, did she do it in the NPR, FCR type of way? Okay, Mr. Bellina.
Well, I could.
And I'm going to be very calm and subtle when I tell you that. We have no interest in any polka music here at 88.5.
Oh, no, she was right in front of my nose.
Oh, okay.
No, she says, well, why do you want one on here? We have enough of polka shows in the area. I says, yes, correct.
Right.
And thank God for that. I says, well, look you guys don't have one. Well, we really don't want one. Why don't you go to MUA over there, the student place? They put anything on. Quote, unquote.
Right.
I did.
It sounds like SKB. They'll put anyone on. I'm here.
Yeah. This is true. How'd you get on?
I absolutely get that.
And you're still here, too.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so go to MUA, right? Well, you know how that operated. So there was a young kid running, I think it was a station man, Jimmy Spellis. Very nice kid, very nice. He says, hey, I got an idea for you guys. I was at FCR, and they gave me about 30 seconds. Sent me to you.
Right.
What do you want to play? I told him. I says, let me explain something first. This isn't going to be Lawrence Welk and that kind of style of with the big tube, with the tubas and all this other kind of stuff. All right. I says, can you give me anything? He says, well, our Fridays and the weekends are kind of like at this point. He says, well, I'll tell you what. He says, I've got an opening Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. I says, oh, that's wonderful. I'm working on campus. I can't very well work and do a show. He says, come in the night before and record it. I says, well, here we go. History is being made. Well, that's it. And so we worked it out. Gave me the big reel-to-reel deal. Put on the machine off. I went, and incidentally, my first guest on that very same show was Jackie LaBera. That's also a Hall of Famer, and he was in Heavy Chicago and Base Day with me.
Oh, wow.
And we were both on Todd's show the other day.
Todd being...
Zaganiec.
and that's a current show right now on HMP AM.
This is right.
Yeah.
With his mom, Sandy. 4 hours Sunday morning.
Right. Yeah, Todd is actually the engineer that I use in order to get your streaming show onto WSKB.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before I get into the Jammer, so 1979, it kind of all started for polka bandstand show.
Yep.
Yeah. When did you actually end up on Saturday mornings?
When I was doing that, I'm trying to guess this one out. Maybe approximate year on that 11 o'clock. The station's getting loads of calls. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, we love it. You know how it just catches on.
Yeah.
He says, I think we're going to have to do something here and give you more time here. I says, why? He says, the phone lines are just overloaded. We can't go. Well, give the guy more hours or something like this. He says, I'll give you a choice. Friday night
Right.
for 3 hours or Saturday morning for 4.
Okay.
So I'm saying, let me see. Which one am I going to choose here? What's a smart move? I talked to some people. They says, well, Saturdays are always popular for polka shows. Fridays, too, somewhat in different locations.
Right.
Saturdays and Sundays. I says, give me that Saturday morning. Oh, my God. And that was it.
Right. So approximately 1980.
About 1980. And then right after that, 1980, I ran, I believe it was the first MUA Polkathon fundraiser, and I raised. I think that first year I came in with about $2,600, and they went bananas.
That
Like,
was
God!
That wasn't bad for a first time fundraiser.
Excuse me.
And in 1980 or so.
Well, polka music too.
Yeah.
You're talking.
Yeah.
So I had 5 or 6 popular DJs from the locale.
Right.
And also Jackie's dad, Johnny Libero, which was from Southbridge, had a radio a Sunday program.
Do I remember coming
They
into
all
that?
came in. You remember that stuff?
Do you remember? Do I remember going into that studio and Sandy being there at some point too?
Todd's mom?
Maybe
Which
maybe it was a different Sandy.
I would have to think back.
All right. Well, we have a break
that's a
coming
long
up
time
in
back,
about-
though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the
Yeah,
basics.
I remember stopping up. You get into the parking garage over at the campus center or over at UMass, and you go through 1 or 2 doors, and bingo, you're there at the studio. That studio was a lot easier to get to than this one.
Well, don't forget that. Well, yeah, but when I first started in '79, we were in the engineering building.
Oh, really?
The engineering building in there, where you could, these colleges have. You got to walk half a mile to get to where you're going to go. You know what I mean? And for parking lots, like you can't have 28 spots right in front of the building to make it easy. You know?
Exactly.
But I'm just, and that's where it was. Engineering building was right off the main drag, and you had to go through a few buildings like over here. That was it, and you lugged in 2 boxes of records at that time.
Yep, absolutely.
They were heavy.
Yeah. When I was a mobile DJ back then,
You too?
You didn't. Oh yeah. Mid through late '80s through mid '90s, I was vinyl.
There you go.
And you didn't pay me to do the work. You paid me to move all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I agree.
You had separate amplifiers and separate speakers, and I mean, it took hours just to move and set that stuff up back then.
Well, then they decided after I don't remember how many years they were in the engineering building, but then they had to move the station because the professors wanted more space.
All right, yeah.
All right,
Yep,
continue.
we know how that happens.
Yeah, you know the story there.
Yeah.
Ended up getting stuck in a dormitory. On about a level of one of the dormitories in there, you needed a key to get in. What a nuisance. What a nuisance that was. Then somebody decided, okay, let's go to Campus Center, which was right across from the Collegian paper. If you can remember that.
Yep, right.
That's where they are now, I guess. Haven't been back.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that 80, 90, 2000, 2010. So that's 90, 2000, 2010.
Oh, 38 years, 39? Almost 40.
Almost 40 years on the air playing polka music.
Well, not counting the jammer now.
Right.
And on it goes.
And the jammer's been 4 years or 5 years now?
At least.
Okay.
For me?
Yeah. MUA ended in what, 2011, 2012?
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But so you're still over the 30-year mark of doing a lot live broadcast in the studio every Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And then Todd decided, well, I got to be on the air. Mm-hmm. Here comes the jammer, 8:30 to noontime. Mm-hmm. There you go. What more can I say?
And I love it when I have somebody coming in here who sits down in front of that Electro Voice, and they're completely comfortable with being on live air.
Yeah,
and just
cool.
talking into a microphone. 9 o'clock WSKB 89.5 FM Westfield. Billy, I'm looking at this. Emily on this
Emily Bison
artwork here. What are we going into?
She's that's the only one she's got out so far. There's a young kid from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and her mom, Debbie, used to sing. Well, she'd go to different festivals and all of that stuff, and she sang with different bands up there once in a while, and did a recording with Jimmy Weber and the Sounds. I play him all the time on the show. And it was recorded live up at an old place, Feeders Grove in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. She did Never Ending Love. And incidentally, on this particular act, you know what? You know which machine that's in. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now that I've...
Yes.
Can you move it to 3?
Ask and you shall receive.
and they recut this. They recut this tune that her mom sang live with the Sounds.
Okay.
Never Ending Love.
All right.
And Emily, who is now, I believe, I'm not sure. She could be around 17, 18. She was young in this one, about 11.
She looks
about
young.
11 or so.
Yeah.
Her and her mom, Debbie, are singing this. So here she goes from her CD, Polkas on My Mind, Never Ending Love, Emily and Mom, Debbie.
I've got a never-ending love for you, and from now on, that's all I want to do. From the first time we met, I knew I'd have a never-ending love for you. After all this time of being alone, we're gonna love one another, live for each other from now on. You'll be mine, and I'll be yours all of the time. I've got a never-ending love for you, and from now on, that's all I want to do. From the first time we met, I knew I'd have a never-ending love for you. I've got a never-ending love for you, and from now on, that's all I want to do. From the first time we met, I knew I'd have a never-ending love for you. After all this time of being alone, we're gonna love one another, live for each other from now on. You'll be mine, and I'll be yours all of the time. I've got a never-ending love for you, and from now on, that's all I want to do. From the first time we met, I knew I'd have a never-ending love for you.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-2787. 8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Sometimes a family wants that Italian taste without those tiny Italian portions. That's why you should come to Al Dente's. All the Mamma Mia you can eat. It's Italian food just like you'll never get in Italy. That's because it's an American team restaurant. So the portions are huge and the food tasteless and unhealthy.
My old man grew up in Naples, so when he comes to visit me in the U.S., I take him someplace unique, reasonably priced, and at the closest strip mall. I take him to Al Dente's.
Al Dente's has hamburger tortellini, rotini with spray cheese, Vienna sausages and penne, and a special linguine with cheesy poof sauce.
Hey, when you're at Al Dente's, everyone's like family. A hyper macho, food-obsessed, alcoholic family just like mine.
Al Dente's, we got more of what you love and less of what you don't. Like more calories and fat and a lot less taste and nutrients. That's why it's Al Dente's. All the Mamma Mia you can eat.
WSKB 89.5 FM, brought to you by Mamma Mia's. I'm sorry I didn't have any commercials for any Polish food. I had to pull that one out of my butt.
No. Jennifer was talking about it.
Oh, okay. Was she? Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Earlier in the first hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You perked right up when she started talking about the Gołąbki pierogi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, this ad was for Al Dente's.
Oh, okay. But that's all right, too.
All right.
It's still food, Kenny.
All right. It's still food.
Well, I said that, right?
My gosh.
I'm not going to remind you, though. Mm-hmm. No.
So we went from MUA to the Jammer. Tell me what now I know what it is. Tell our listeners what the Polka Jammer Network is.
I think we've been running about 14, 15 years now. A fellow out of Connecticut, Jack Baszewski. Mm-hmm. Actually, he's doing a show once again on FM. He's out of Hartford. Forgot the university, Hartford University or something or other. Uh-huh. But he's on a Saturday morning also. He had this brainstorm. Geez, I'd like to try something different. Maybe since all this automation, streaming, sound, and whatever, with all this new electronic stuff coming in, to do a polka show streaming on the internet.
Uh-huh.
And he got a few guys together with him. There's Jimmy from Chicago, who actually did the programming, a lot of the programming, and helped him out in the beginning. And I think I remember Jack telling me his first broadcast, Kenny, I think he had 8 listeners or something.
Right.
But
that's all I have actually right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. I may have 9.
That's good. That's
may have moved up to 9.
You might hit 10.
Mm-hmm. Only because you're here.
Well, okay. Thank you anyway.
Right.
But anyhow, that's how that started with the Jammer. Like, and then that started taking off word of mouth to this one, this one, this one, this one. Now you're hearing his show from his house all over the world.
Right.
And this is it's fantastic, this stuff.
And your show comes from your house.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And when exactly is that? I know we have the 8:30 to noon.
8:30 to noon.
Here on WSKB.
Same thing.
All right. So it's 8:30 to noon on the Jammer as well.
Yes.
It's the same show. Yeah.
Yes.
What's on the Jammer
Simulcast.
is what's here on WSKB.
Yes.
And you have something else during the week, don't you?
Oh, Wednesday night.
Okay.
8 to 10 Polka Vinyl show.
All right.
Where it's mostly, I do play the new CDs here and there.
Uh-huh.
Mostly the records like we were talking about before.
Uh-huh. Right.
You can't get rid of the records. No way.
So you actually have a phonograph set up there and you're coming off of vinyl?
2 turntables.
All right. 2 turntables and a microphone. You ever hear that expression? There you go. That's Billy Bolina.
Gotta know how to use that microphone, Kenny, right?
2 turntables and a microphone.
That's right.
Are we
well, it's the double CD machine, too, though. I mean, you know what I mean.
Are we talking Technic 1200 turntables? Did you go with the real deal?
I could have, but I went with the Newmarks.
Oh, okay, the Newmarks. Okay.
But with professional Stanton cartridges and styluses.
Okay.
To give it that beefed up FM sound.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
you got
the professional
You got a
stuff.
decent pair of turntables.
Oh,
there,
for
then.
sure. Oh,
yeah.
beautiful.
I got
Nice.
my start with I think they were Newmarks.
Did ya?
Yeah. They weren't Technic 1200s because those suckers were $550 a piece. And then you're talking another $100 just for the cartridge.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
But they play 78s too.
Yes.
That's why I went with the Newmarks too.
Yeah, I actually have it. It's in the closet over here. For a while, it was sitting over here. It was a 1200 knockoff. It's Audio Technica.
I know.
120. SL,
I know which
SL
one
120.
Exactly.
And it works just like a 1200, and it does the 78s. And
Speed control the whole
and it has
shot.
a line out on the back instead of just
yeah.
the phono. It's a beautiful, beautiful turntable, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's awesome that you're coming off of vinyl on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, I had when I went on a jammer on that thing, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, there's a lot of jammer shows cropping up. What am I going to do now? Mm-hmm. And since I'm loaded up with vinyl at home, albums, etc., 45s, Polka Vinyl Show with Billy Bellina.
When I was doing mobile DJ work before I got into live bands and before karaoke, I did all that crap. But the mobile DJ part, I needed polka music because I actually the weddings I played were largely Polish people.
Yep.
So back then you go to Record Town or you go to Strawberries or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And damn hard to find polka music. So I befriended Larry Chesky over in Holyoke when he was running Modern Mail International.
Yep.
And he let me up into the attic.
Upstairs
where all the vinyl
in the
was.
warehouse.
And he just said, you know what, Kenny, just go through the albums and find what you need. And I found all the standard stuff, everything I would ever need. And he even had a copy of the Computer Obedic by Pon Youssef, by Joe Oberide.
That's right, and I know exactly where they were stashed. Down the bottom row of one of the bins of his. Oh, yeah. I almost lived there 3 times a week.
Yeah, I must have. I spent several hours up in Larry Chesky's attic over there.
You too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. And Papa Joe, shrink wrapping the albums when they came in with the covers. Those days weren't they terrific?
Yeah. And he had the complete mail order too with all the other
Modern
products.
Mail, yeah,
Modern Mail,
absolutely.
So I saw all types of crazy
T-shirts?
stuff over there.
T-shirts,
knickknacks. I mean, novelties.
Yeah,
you name it, it was coming through there.
Yeah, terrific.
Yeah, but speaking of Larry Chesky, he actually had a polka band locally around here too.
Very popular.
Yeah, and it was just Larry Chesky Orchestra, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he recorded way back, I think, when? 50s? Maybe 50s? I think he started a Musico label out of New York for when the 78s were being pressed. And so he recorded a lot of music, too.
Yeah.
Had a lot of bands record for him, too.
Right, yeah.
Him as well as Joe
he had his own label that
Yes.
he would put other bands onto.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. How long ago did we lose him?
Oh, boy. I'm not good on this.
Has it been maybe close to 20 years?
I don't know if it's 20 yet, but it's... Maybe I'm guessing in the 15 zone.
Because I remember the Polish American Cafe was still a building and still existed over in Hadley when that happened, and
the Polish
myself,
American Cafe. Well, that was Eddie Foreman's dad. That one.
Yeah, Eddie Foreman's dad.
That's the one you're thinking about.
Yeah,
right on Route 9.
Yeah, actually, I would. That was one of my hangouts. You think 20-something. And 30-something.
Oh, you hit
year-old
all
kid.
the joints.
He'd be hanging out downtown Northampton. No, I drove over the bridge from Northampton when I was living up there, and I went to Wally and Jones Polish American Cafe.
There you go.
And I was a fixture there for years and years and years. And Wally and Jones' daughter Chris, just recently, every now and then around the holidays, would bring
7 years.
Would bring like Golumki or pierogi to me at the holiday time. And they were cooked just like Jones. So it's
Homemade.
like, oh my God, yeah, awesome. But and speaking of their homemade food, Saturday mornings, all right, every other week would be pierogi, and then the opposite weeks would be Golumki over there. So you'd go in Saturday mornings for true traditional homemade Polish food, and guess who was playing on the radio down there?
I wonder who.
I think Mr. Billy Bolina was playing
that
on the
could be
radio at the Polish American Cafe in Hadley, where this Polak used to hang out.
Well, you know which spots to go to, didn't you? Here comes the food again.
I mean, that was the whole Foreman family were great to hang around with up there, and it was just so nice and so kind.
Well, Eddie, another Hall of Fame.
Is Eddie in the Hall of Fame too?
Yep.
All right. Speaking of Hall of Fame, Larry?
So is Larry. 7 years ago, Todd said he passed away.
Wow, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Larry Chesky, another Polka Hall of Fame.
Yeah, another one, right. Mm-hmm. Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Hall of Fame. I think coming up on the other side of this break, 9:16 and a half. We are going into that right now. So tell me what we have coming up.
Okay, this was released at Ocean Beach, where we broadcasted, and my Saturday show is over here.
Is that when I gave you
WSKB, remember?
Is that when I gave you hell with a text message because you were complaining about it being cold and
Yes,
and
it
rainy
was.
and
Yes,
damp?
it was.
Yes.
And what did you say to me on that text? Can you say it on the air?
Yeah, I said if you want to make sure it's nice and warm, go to effing Florida.
You got away with words, Kenny, my man.
But yeah, I remember it was rain and cold, and
it was raw that
It just
day.
started to get a little nicer when the band picked up, right?
Yeah. But that was on SQ. Oh, yeah. Had that part of the show on. This is, this is their brand new one, but it was recorded last year at United States Polka Association Convention in Cleveland. Polka country musicians. This is live, brand new. Here's a tune. I think it's a Buck Owens tune, if I'm not mistaken, called It's All Right.
We grew up together, we played in the weather, whether it be rain or snow. Later in the evenings, when Mom would call me, she would hear me say before I'd go, if it's alright, I'll come back tomorrow and bring you a ribbon for your hair. If it's alright, I'll come back tomorrow, 'cause I want you to know how much I care. Went to school together, she wore my high school sweater. I carried her books every day. Later in the evenings, on the phone I'd call her, and once again to her these words I'd say. If it's alright, I'll call you tomorrow, and maybe to the movies we can go. If it's alright, I'll call you tomorrow, 'cause I love you and I want you to know. Now we're so happy, and now I'm called Pappy. Yes, I have a son of my own. And just last evening, these words I heard him saying to his little girlfriend on the phone. If it's alright, I'll call you tomorrow, and maybe to the movies we can go. If it's alright, I'll call
Street Travel Recording, we thank you. This is one called If It's All Right.
Support for the community
Any
programming
Bruise
of
Cruisers
WSKB
out
is
there?
provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Underwriting for community radio is provided by the YMCA of Greater Westfield. Every day, the YMCA strengthens the community through programs and services focused on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. For all the Y's many programs and services, visit us on the web at www.westfieldymca.org. The YMCA, 67 Court Street in downtown Westfield. We're more than a gym. We're a cause. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
9:22 on the nose here on this 24th day of July in the year 2018. Anno Domini. This is the Den, Ken's Den. Ken Stomsky and Polka Hall of Famer from Saturday mornings here on WSKB, Billy Bolina. Billy, I did just mention Polka Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yes. Tell me about that.
It started way back in, I believe, the late 60s.
And where is it?
It's in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay, that makes sense.
And, well, about 6 or 7 of the folks, popular band leaders and disc jockeys, got together and says, well, why don't we do something for some of these musicians that have promoted the polka music their whole life, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And I believe I think 68 or 69, the first 2 that were inducted into the Hall of Fame were Frankie Yankovic and Little Wally.
Frankie Yankovic being
on Columbia
being
right
Al
way.
Yankovic's father or grandfather.
No relation.
No relationship.
No.
Come on.
No.
You know that's an urban legend, Billy.
This is true. But they're not.
So it's true that it's an urban legend, but
I was
really,
told they're
you were
not.
told they're not.
I don't think they are.
All right. You know, if any of my listeners want to Google that for me and send me a text to clear that up, go ahead.
Yeah, really. Yeah, because well, I was told that way back, but that's why I just threw it in there.
All right.
So anyway,
hey, you know what? It doesn't matter anyways.
True.
Let's get back to the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
All right.
So that's how it started in Chicago and doing that, and then they decided to have a nice big banquet, awards presentations, and then, well, why don't we go with, okay, how about getting electors from certain areas? You know, you're going to have your trustees, and then you got your electors, a certain amount of them from different areas in the United States. They would vote on best single recording, best, well, in those days, albums, but CDs now, whatever. Best
I think they still refer to it as an album.
Some people do. Yep. Best female vocalist, male vocalist, instrumental band. That's the idea of it, and that's coming up. It used to be first week in August, and a lot of it ran in Chicago and Milwaukee territory. Then they moved over to Ohio, more of a centralized. Now it's in Buffalo for about the last 4 years. That's at Millennium over Labor Day weekend. Same thing's going to happen. All the awards and everything. We're going to play a tune in a while. By this group, 3 people. You're talking about Bay State 4.
Right. That's going to be interesting. Well, you know,
we got Mike Costa first, but then Molly B, because she is going to be inducted this Labor Day.
Oh, okay. All right.
And she's got her own national TV show.
So you kind of mentioned how it's moved around and around. Is that just a ceremony, or does everything
No,
move?
band's playing.
Okay.
Oh, band's playing.
So there's actually a physical place they can go to in Chicago. That's called the.
Oh, you're talking about the Hall of Fame building? It's in. It's on the top floor, I believe, of Polonia Banquets, and Polonia Grove used to be an old place way back in the '60s. that they had polka bands play every Sunday, like your normal picnics. They would play out there, and tons of people.
Right.
With the bands.
Okay. All right. So there's a physical place if you find
Yeah, you
yourself
can
in
go
Chicago.
up there and see all of the awards, the plaques hanging on the wall, records. I mean, all kind of signed memorabilia, outfits that some of the popular polka stars wore, and all that. It's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So coming up at the next break, we'll be hearing from the latest inductee into the polka Hall
one
of
she'll be
Fame.
going in, and
All right.
Labor Day.
Yeah. Of course, 10 seconds ago, it was just on the front of my head to go down to my tongue and come out of my mouth. Now it's in the back of the head.
What was it?
Somewhere. That's what sucks with age, Billy. I mean, there's something I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to screw the topic up too much. And it looks like I just might have. But, I'll move on. Okay, I remember what it was now.
Was it good or bad, though? Good or bad?
You mentioned the picnics. I remember a lot of picnics around the area, Polish bands playing on Sunday when I was in my teens and late 20s. And I don't know if I'm just not following it or if they're just not out and about as often. I just don't see it or hear of it happening in this area anymore. There used to be, every Sunday over in Southampton at Podolsky, people would be playing or whatnot.
Hamden Ponds.
Yeah.
They still got them.
Does this still happen?
Pulaski Park every Sunday in Three Rivers.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
Church affairs, church picnics. They're all over the place here.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I want to make sure that's still a thing because with
the food, you're talking about food?
Yeah.
Well, there you get real McCoy right there.
Yeah.
The ladies still make, the gołąbki, pierogi, and kielbasa, whatever they homemade
when
everything.
I was 18, 19 years old, I'd drive to these places and go to these.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, 19-year-old kid going to these Polish
It's all
picnic
right.
parties.
So what?
It was awesome.
I know. And this is what a lot of, like we always talk about, don't forget, you had the big Kielbasa Festival for one thing over here, and in Chicopee.
And it's in West Side now, but it's not just kielbasa. And they don't. And they don't really have any polka bands there because it's too expensive to bring them in.
It's nothing like it. I mean, 10,000.
It's expensive to bring in a polka orchestra.
Yeah, but 10,000 people at Fairfield Mall.
Yeah.
I mean, figure. But those were the good days, though.
Right.
Like we keep going back. Late 60s, 70s. Now your phone's talking to you.
Yeah, my phone is talking to me.
But they do have them.
Not telling me anything important.
But the church is still every summer.
That was our guest that we had in the first hour, Jennifer. So she's just thanking us once again for having us on. So if you're still listening, Jennifer.
Yeah. Hi to you.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
See how much fun you're missing out on here? Okay.
Yeah, but what did she say back to you?
She just thinks I know. Yeah, and it's a formality. If you don't thank Kenny for coming onto the show, then you never get back on the show again.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. That's.
Thank you for having me.
That's that's a little known thing going on here in Westfield.
Okay.
Oh my. So.
Well, this is community radio, though.
It's
WSKB FM.
And you know what? You said that without messing it up too.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that isn't a legitimate ID. It's WSKB Westfield, Massachusetts.
If you want to go that far.
Well, that's what I was told when I started in real radio. Call letters in a town or city or whatever.
Yeah, let's see it.
Right?
What is the legal ID I need to say? I need to say.
Well, how do you do it?
At the top of the hour,
yes,
I have to go WSKB 89.5 FM Westfield.
Now, see, I thought it was the call letters then the town.
Yeah.
Now, but
as long as you get them all in, then you satisfy the FCC requirements.
But my question to you, I don't have an answer for this, is when you come out with, all right, well, let's use this, WSKB Westfield.
Right.
Well, somebody in California says, where's Westfield? Mm-hmm. Why don't they say the state?
Yeah.
Mandatory on the ID.
I've never heard the state.
Did you ever think of that?
I've never heard the state be a requirement on the station ID or anything legal.
Well, isn't it, though? I mean, wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah. I believe
it would help.
So long as you have the call sign in the city, that's all the FCC needs to track you down because there's only going to be one WSKB
I know what you mean.
and one Westfield.
But I mean the normal listener listening, never mind the FCC. I'm just...
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't it make sense or no?
Yeah. How do you think you would do on the radio if you were on the other side of the Mississippi? I don't think I could ever get used to saying K.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
K.
Yeah, when I go out to the West Coast, I'm constantly hearing KLA, KTLI, and it doesn't even roll off my tongue. I can't do it.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. The Connecticut School of Broadcasting, one of the first things they covered, and I didn't actually go through it, but I have friends who went through it. The first thing they covered was how to say W. And it's not W. It's W. Mm-hmm. And you have it too. It's in your head.
It's in there.
Yeah, when you say WSKB, it's W. It's WSKB.
That's, you got to emphasize it.
Yeah, well, we could really emphasize it like the DJs from the 70s and 80s, like when Howard Stern did on that movie. Private Parts was the movie Howard Stern
come
was
out
in.
with it there. I
And it was WABC out of New York, and they're trying to piss them off enough to quit. So they were telling them how to say the call sign, and it was like WABC, and I don't think I'd ever get to the point where I'm like WKCH, or WAQ. I can't do it.
I just brought that up as a question because I always thought of that. What state is it?
Yeah,
in?
and I can do a proper post too. Yeah, it's it takes some concentration to post properly, and sometimes I blow it. But Pete and I will do a top 100 countdown on New Year's Eve, and then for most of the night, he and I go back and forth trying to post to every song to see who can get closer.
I know what you mean.
It's a sickness. Once you get the radio bug, I mean, you just do stupid things like that.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you, huh?
Yeah. 8:32 going on to 8:33 in the morning. I'm 3 minutes past my break. I believe we are playing track... Which one do you want me to do? I have track 4 on one, and I have track 13 on another. Because I don't have both sleeves up here.
You got Mike Costa coming up, number 4. High Lonesome?
Number 4? Number 4, High Lonesome.
How about it? This is his latest recording, brand new Mike Costa, longtime musician too. Yeah, if you look at his picture he's still young though.
And now that I think about it, you just handed me the disc for my second transport. So yes, we are definitely going into Costa.
Okay, Costa played with a lot of well-known bands like New Brass. He played with Jan Simon's Musical Airs from Jersey. He had his own. He played with Magic Tones also from New York territory. Mm-hmm. Then he had a band called Mike Costa's Limelight. Okay. Now this is his current band again, The Beat. This is his new recording. I think this is a country tune from someplace too. Calls this one High Lonesome.
Reminded me of you and I that day. Then I saw him steal a kiss. I realized you're all I need, and that's all it takes. I get that heart aching on the edge of breaking, never-ending road that's twisting, taking me back to where I was back then. I get that high lonesome, low down in there too. Whiskey drinking, what was I thinking? Why ever let you feel it again? Forever since I seen you, the grass ain't always any greener on the other side. Someone told me live and learn, play with fire and you'll get burned, and I did. Now I'm paying the price. I get that high
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
9:38 here on Ken's Den. This is Ken Stomsky. I have Polka Hall of Famer Billy Bellina in the studio. Now, Billy, one thing that I do with every new person into the studio is I play a little game.
Okay.
And if you had a monitor on, you'd hear I have something going on in the background. But that's not important. But, you know, it'll help you. It'll get you into the mood. All right? So I play a little game called Ken's 10. Ken's 10 is a list of rapid-fire questions I send off in your direction. There are no right or wrong answers. It's just strictly your own humble opinion. But you can't sit there and think about it. You have to give me an answer right away. So Ken's 10 with Billy Bellina. Number 1, mustard or ketchup?
Mustard.
It has to be mustard. Number 2, water. Bottled or tap?
Bottle.
Simpsons or Family Guy?
Homer.
Okay, Simpsons. This was going to be tough. Number 4, New York or Boston?
It's a tough one. Boston.
Boston. Ken's 10 with Billy Bellina. Number 5, DVR or live television?
Live TV.
Yeah, you're of that age.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, this is another tough one. Ralph Cramden or Buford T. Justice?
Oh, man. Oh, my God. I got to go with Gleason.
Well, they're both Gleason.
I know, but on that, what's the show? What's the movies?
The movies is Buford T. Justice, the cop.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay. All right, so you're Buford.
Buford, all right.
All right.
Buford.
This main road, downtown Westfield here, 10 and 202. Route or route?
Route.
Number 8 could be another tough one. Munsters or Addams Family?
Addams Family.
Pool or hot tub?
Pool.
And number 10, Ken's 10 with Billy Bellina. Smooth or chunky?
Smooth.
Smooth. And that's Ken's 10 with Ken Stumpy and Billy Bellina. Thanks for playing along, Billy. I put everyone through that.
Really?
You don't have anything to say about that, do you?
No. I was thinking, because you got me mixed up with the Gleason thing. That was Smokey and the Bandit, right?
Smokey and the Bandit.
That's what I was going to try to say.
All right.
It didn't come out.
Well,
that's like you had something behind your head there before. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then, now and then if you're lucky, the light bulb goes off, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going here?
All right.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah. All right, thanks for playing along.
Yes.
All right. Polka Hall of Fame is in Chicago. And I noticed several regions constantly being mentioned on your show and other various shows on Polka Jammer. And it seems that there are certain areas where polka is more prominent than others, Chicago being one, Buffalo. Am I right with Philadelphia?
Yeah, the Jersey, Metropolitan, New York, they still have some bands around there playing, which that territory way back was real heavy duty and polkas and everything. Like everything in the 60s, 50s.
Right.
Yeah. other than the West Coast, which maybe has a couple of polka bands, but when you start going Midwest and out towards the West, out towards Minnesota, they still have the old style, old time bands. You know, with
Right.
with the bass tuba in there and all that stuff. But in general, I don't know. You still get the different nationality festivals going on. You get the German, Bavarian, Polish, Italian, Slovak, Croatian.
Right.
You got them.
Yeah. Now you're talking about like something old fashioned. Are we talking like honky?
Oh, that style of music?
Yeah.
I don't think I get into. Well, I don't know if I do or not.
Yeah,
I'd
well,
have
you
to
know,
look.
let's
It's-
explain it because I know people. I know it's mentioned on the Jammer now and then, and it's certainly not a derogatory term. So
Yeah, I know, yeah.
let's explain what a honky polka.
I don't
is.
even know who came up with that term. I really don't. I was told that a long time. But it's a certain style of polka music,
Right.
where it's more like just let me put it this way. It's like Polish bluegrass style.
Right.
That's
Okay.
as close as I can maybe
So,
come up with it.
So it's a genre, a subgenre, like
No
like-
accordion pushing, none of that stuff.
like you have your polka, which is your your 3-step. Then you could have a waltz or an oberek.
Yep.
Actually, explain, precisely the difference between an oberek and a polka.
Well, different tempo. No, Oberek is the only way I can describe that. So anybody that's not Polish or whatever would. It's a faster tempo of a waltz, basically.
So that would be an oberek would be where you
1, 2, 3.
You're
1,
dancing
2,
around
3.
a circle on the dance floor, but you're not whipping and spinning
Yeah.
people around and kicking up your feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically.
All right. I think I might have explained that a little bit better than you that time.
But that style, once again, is basically, I would say, with the Chicago bands too. But the honky style would be primarily 1 trumpet, 1 clarinet. Some Chicago bands had 1 trumpet, 2 clarinets.
Right.
And basically a concertina instead of accordion.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's a
Gave it
completely
that
different sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you nailed it on that.
Yeah,
You
well,
got
it's-
you know a thing or two with your polka. I'll have to give it to you.
A few things.
Yeah, we're going to be hearing from a Polka Hall of Famer now, or a new inductee, right?
Yes.
Tell me about her.
Molly B. Her dad, Jimmy Busta, has a band. Well, I think he still does have a band out towards Minnesota somewhere in that vicinity. And she got married to this Teddy Lang. Teddy Lang also played with various polka bands.
I recognize that name.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. and this other kid, Jeremy, who plays with Polish Connection out of Wisconsin, he cut drums on this one. And this band is known as Squeezebox, 3 of them. Molly B has a RFD national TV polka show. She plays about 10 instruments. She was inducted, not yet, into the Hall of Fame coming up Labor Day.
And it's a sure thing.
And she's kind of cute too, isn't she?
You know, I'm looking at the cover here, and I look at her, and I don't see somebody being inducted in the Polka Hall of Fame. It looks like somebody I could go out in the street and pick up on a date. Well, she probably wouldn't date me, but I'd date her.
Oh, yeah. Very nice person. Very nice person. She's been to some of the awards. She's won Best Female, vocalist awards and everything. She's really good.
So I'm looking forward to hearing her.
Very nice. Fantastic. And this is their latest one. They could be working on another one, but she's gonna tune. I forget who came out with this one. Could be a band from out of Cleveland, but this is on their latest recording. Molly's going to sing it, and it's called, with the Squeezebox Band, I've Got a Polish Boyfriend Polka. Hit it.
I've got a
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. Ken's Den, Tuesday, 8 to 10. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
9:50 in the morning, Billy. That was a morning that went by rather quickly.
I know it would.
Yeah, I knew it would too. And I kind of feel a little bad for pulling you out early in the morning, retired from Chicopee to come out here for 2 hours.
No biggie. Mm-hmm. I'm here.
I mean,
Well, it's nice you had me on because you were kind of instrumental in getting the polka show on here.
Yeah, if you remember, a while back, months before that, I'm like, well, I want to get you live in person because we had the kid out of Granby, Connecticut, coming up here to play polka on Saturday mornings. And his health failed, so he stopped. And we went for about a year without having polka music on Saturday mornings. And you probably remember, I tried to recruit you to come up here live, and you're like, well, geez, no, I'm sorry, I'm doing the jammer.
Right.
And then a few months later, the light bulb went off above my head. Well, yeah, we've got the technology. Let me stream you. And that's how all this came to be. And you got me in touch with Todd over at HMP, who engineers this stuff for us and makes sure that you, when you're not on, and he knows the hours that we're streaming the jammer, he makes sure that we get our legal ID in. So Todd takes really good care of us when it comes to streaming the jammer network here at SKB.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm right here.
Yeah, it does. And when you're on, I notice you at the appropriate times. You're announcing our legal for us.
I'm trying to get it as close to on the hour as I can get it.
Yeah.
It slips by me a couple of times, but hey.
You get it in there eventually, and it's fine.
Yeah. That's good. That's nice.
And we have hosts here in the morning who completely go past their breaks and past their legal. I'm one of the people who's always, you might have watched me throughout the morning, constantly looking at my clock here.
And I'm looking at it behind you.
And normally I sit right there. I sit where Jennifer sat
over
this
here?
morning. Yeah.
Oh.
And Pete would normally sit here.
Oh, okay.
He produces my show. That way there gives me time to find things on my laptop and be a jerk and an idiot. So I'm normally interviewing from that side.
Oh, I get you.
So I'm watching that clock down there usually.
Cool.
And,
cool.
I make sure I call up the clock here. I want to mention one thing to our listeners while I have them. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield is still doing their lunch program for the kids here in town. So any child aged 2 through 18, if they need a lunch, they can get a lunch free of charge.
Wow.
All right.
That's wonderful.
It's they've been doing it for several years now. Other Boys and Girls Clubs around the country are doing this. It's a great program, and I mention it every week on my show. During the summertime, and I also list off the satellite locations where you can get said lunch. So again, that's kids aged 2 through 18. If you need a lunch, make sure you stop by to one of the satellite locations, and those would be from 1 o'clock to 1:30 today. Chapman Playground. Colonial Pine Acres would be 11:30 to 12. Powder Mill Village is 12 to 1. Sadie Knox is 12:15 to 12:45. Edgewood, 12 to 12:30. Hubbard Street is 12 to 12:30. South Middle School, 12:30 to 1 o'clock. And on Thursdays only, when the farmers market is going on, down at the Church of the Atonement, 12:45 to 1:30. Thanks again to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, Mass. I got that out.
Went by fast. It flew right by.
Some of us say that WSKB is the fastest 2 hours in radio you'll ever have. I mean, I barely broke a sweat, and here we are at the end, and I'm trying to think, Jesus, when's the next time I'm going to get Billy in here?
And this is just the tip of the iceberg with polkas.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to dive into it even further one of these days.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, during the summer, the kids here at Westfield State University are gone. So I run your entire show here. We go.
That's nice, yeah. You picked it up till noon now.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So 8:30 to 12 every Saturday we're simulcasting. Actually, we start the Jammer Network at 6 a.m.
It's 6.
Yeah. So 6 to 12 here in Westfield.
Yeah.
Nonstop polka.
Yeah.
Well, nonstop other than the times when Billy is talking,
right?
Which is now and then. But it's when Billy's talking, it's either saying hello to someone, talking about an upcoming concert, or it's educational about the music you're going to hear. You heard Billy this morning say, okay, well, this person played with that band and then that band, and then this person is known for this and they're known for that, and this was recorded live at this location, and you get this great trivia out regarding all this music that you are playing, and that's one of the things that makes your show unique, I think.
Yeah, well, you don't forget what I told you a couple of times is I would say most of the shows on the Polka Jammer Network, we try to do the same thing like you're saying that I do on my show, and because the Polka Jammer Network, just to throw it in, is to preserve is kind of like the key word to the whole thing. Preserve and promote polka music because we are a non-for-profit.
Absolutely. I think I might have seen that tag on the website.
That's right.
Yes.
You're right. And that's what we do. And this is what we do, a fundraiser like MUA. I know we got to go off pretty soon. We do a fundraiser like MUA. We used to do that. And that brings funds into the Polka Jammer Network so we can do some of these remotes like you just said.
Yeah.
Which is tremendous.
Yeah. And none of us here at SKB are getting paid. You're not getting paid to do it.
No, none of us do.
It does take a little bit of money to keep the equipment upgraded. All right, to pay for the internet bill, to pull all this stuff off.
Oh, God, is it going up for the software itself?
Yeah. I mean, the software to run this station is $4,000 or $5,000.
Well, it's terrible what we have to pay.
Yeah, it's specialized commercial software, so... Yeah, and that's why we have our underwriters.
That's right.
I'm not making a dime off of this, but we have to pay for a CD player when it goes down or something. 9:57 in the morning. I've got about a minute left. Next week in the studio, I have Dan Paquette co-hosting. We're going to be welcoming in the band Southern Rain. We're going to be having live acoustic music played in the studio next Tuesday.
Yeah. Gotta have it, huh?
Yeah. And then 2 weeks from today, I have Dan Knabick and Steve Donnelly coming in for... all you folks talking smack on social media. I'm going to be opening up the phone lines on Tuesday. It's going to be Open Line Tuesday. Y'all can call in and give them a piece of your mind. Just keep it within FCC guidelines.
Cool.
Billy Bellina, I want to thank you once again for coming in here.
Thank you for having me over, Kenny.
Right. What are we going out with?
Boxon Band, family band, 8 kids in a family. Rick Vanecki from Michigan, married Alicia Guzevich, part of the Polka family band. All the kids are here. Here's their new recording. Hit it.
Polka songs, we love to hear that driving beat. Share this happy music with all those you meet. Sing it loud and proud and raise your glasses high. Polka's deep within our hearts, will never die. It's that polka music, sing it every day. It's that polka music that makes me feel this way. It's that polka music, helps you feel just fine. And together sing that tuneful music one more time. Poleczki, Tańczymy koło razem ty i ja. Głośno mi śpiewamy, 100 lat życzymy. Poleczki nie zaginą, gdy bakson gra. Bo jak polki grają, razem śpiewamy. Bo jak polki grają, dobrze czujemy. Bo jak polki grają, szybko leci czas. Zaśpiewają wszystkie razem, bo ubiwa czas. It's that polka music, sing it every day. It's that polka music that makes me feel this way. It's that polka music, helps you feel just fine. And together sing that tune for music one more time.